Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing an updated version of my Blackluster Soldiers. Now you guys have been requesting this one a lot for the 25 days of Christmas and beyond, with you guys wanting just this deck profile updated. And I decided, hey, what's a better time than in the middle of the month during the 25 days of Christmas? So, let's get straight on to it. So this deck is a lot of fun. It ritual summons out the OG Blackluster Soldier along with the Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier to give it some really awesome effects along with the what I call mini nights, which is the evening twilight night and beginning night. They're really, really good, and they really have some awesome effects, which we'll get into. But before we get into this, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become a part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on to this. And there's some awesome techs like Outer Entities in the extra deck. So, for the main deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier. He's a really awesome card that can be ritual summoned with a multitude of ritual spell cards, such as Super Soldier Ritual and the Super Soldier Synthesis card. But he also, if he destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the grave, you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the monster you destroyed. And if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to your graveyard, or if this card in your possession is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add one Guy of the Fierce Knight from your hand, deck, or graveyard. But we don't play any hot Guy of the Fierce Knights. I actually dropped out the Guy of the Fierce Knight. But if you guys want to play it, you can play this one. This one's the best one. It's Charging Guy of the Fierce Knight. Because usually if I summon him out, he's not going to die. I'm going to end up just OTKing my opponent so easily that I'm not that worried about it. So then I play 1 copy of the OG Blackluster Soldier. You really need 1 copy of him just for like the plays with being able to summon him also. And there's ways that you can actually search just him as well. So I play 1 copy of the OG Blackluster Soldier also. Then I play 3 copies of Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. I play Envoy of the Beginning at 3 because he's at 3 and he's one of the best cards in the deck. Usually you're not going to fail with summoning out him and then a Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier. It's one of those things that when you summon him and Super Soldier, you're usually going to win right off the bat. I mean, unless your opponent has any sort of negation that stops you, like a Mirror Force or something like that. And sometimes you can even banish that and get rid of it so it's not a problem anymore. So I just play the 3 copies of him. Then I play 1 copy of Envoy of Chaos. Envoy of Chaos is a really interesting card. Basically, it's like a hand trap that you discard it when a Blackluster Soldier or Guy of the Fierce Knight monster you control is attacking, and it makes him gain 1500 attack. So it's kind of like Kalut, but it's a little bit better than Kalut the Moon Shadow in the aspect that if it's in the graveyard, you can banish... during the end phase, you can banish a light and dark monster to add it back to your hand, which is really nice. Then for the mini nights, what I call the mini nights, we're playing 3 copies of Beginning Night and 3 copies of Evening Twilight. What they do is basically they don't have any effects on the field, but if they're used to ritual summon a Blackluster Soldier monster, you get to apply these effects. For Beginning Night, he lets the Blackluster Soldier monster target a monster your opponent controls and banish it, and when this card destroys an opponent's monster or battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. It can attack again once again in the round, which is really awesome. And then they also both have the effect of, if they're banished, you can either add with him a ritual monster or him a ritual spell, which is really awesome. That's why I play them at 3, is because they're kind of like the Searcher's deck, and I have a couple of cards that you actually can banish them to get other effects. But this Evening Twilight's effect is that once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and banish it. And then once per turn, you can banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand face down. So kind of like it's kind of like Omega. And the ideal play is to use Super Soldier Synthesis to summon out your Super Soldier using these 2 to summon it, which is really easy to do if you just have like a Manju and you draw into either Super Soldier Synthesis or draw... Blackluster Soldier. Either way, you normal summon Manju of the 10,000 hand, and you're going to get your OTK, normally. Then I play 1 each of the White Dragon and Black Dragon. The reason we play them at 1 each is because you might need to have like Super Soldier Synthesis or one of the ritual monsters, and so I use this to banish the mini nights to get additional effects, and that's why I play them. If you want to... play this instead, that's okay. I would recommend if you don't want to play these and you want to play that Guy of the Fierce Knight, drop these for a Blackluster Ritual and a Charging Gaia, if you want to go that route. But that's just an option. Then I play 3 copies of the Manju of the 10,000 Hands. You need to play this in this deck because it just helps so much with any ritual deck. Just being able to normal summon it and adding any ritual spell or any ritual monster. You really need to play Manju in the majority of ritual decks. Some ritual decks are exceptions that you just don't need it, but this is not one of those times that it's an exception. You really need it here. For the next cards, let me move these over a little bit so we can extend a little bit. For the next cards, we're playing 2 copies of Implication Talismandra, 2 copies of Kandal, and then I play 1 each of the pen and the book. The reason I play it at this number is because I don't want to use so much the book and the pen, but I want to get out the doll, or Kandal and Talismandra. And the only time I don't have level 8 on the field is if I use the pen and Kandal, so I bump them down to 1 each. But sometimes you need to add Blackluster Soldier back to your hand to make like to make Super Soldier Ritual live or something like that. But that's the only reason I really play them at that ratio. And that's the other reason, like I said with the Mini Knights, with giving them additional effects, and make sure original Blackluster Soldier not a vanilla anymore. It doesn't have that added effect when it destroys a monster or a battle that it inflicts that damage as well, but that kind of is, it's kind of a moot point, but it counts as a 4th one, and that's why you need it. But anyways, guys, that's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells really quick. And by the way, you don't use the extra deck all that much. There's opportunities where you can make rank 8s, but I usually stick with making a field that looks kind of like this, that has a Super Soldier on it, and has a Blackluster Soldier envoy, and then sometimes I'll even get Blackluster Soldier, the OG Blackluster Soldier, and I'll win with that board right there. And it's pretty easy to get this board off if you play test this deck a little bit. It's not really hard to play this deck either. Like, it's pretty simple. So then I play 1 Rhoda because we play so many warriors in the deck. A Monster Reborn just because we need Monster Reborn here. And it's good in just about every deck. 2 copies of Trade-In. The cool thing about Super Soldier Synthesis is you can ritual summon your Blackluster Soldiers from the graveyard. So you can discard them with Trade-In to make them still live. And that's something that's really nice that you can use Trade-In for. It's pretty much like a +1 at that point. Because it doesn't matter if they're in your hand or in the grave. As long as your opponent doesn't like call by the grave your Blackluster Soldier upon you doing it. But usually you're going to have multiple copies of Blackluster Soldier in the grave anyways. So it doesn't matter. 1 copy of Super Soldier Ritual. This is probably my least favorite of all the ritual spells besides the original one. Or second favorite, I guess. You can be used to ritual summon any Blackluster Soldier monster, but you must also attribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels exactly equal 8. That's what sucks about this ritual spell, is you cannot use, for instance, you have to use the book and the pen in order to summon this with the incantations, or the implications, or whatever they're called, because this equals 8, but you can't use any of the other ones. By the way, it's really awesome that these are light and dark as well, because it kind of goes in with the engine. That's what kind of sucks. But it has the other effect of during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 light and 1 dark monster from your graveyard to special summon a Blackluster Soldier Ritual monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. That's really nice, and I love that ability, because sometimes I'll have this in the grave, and I won't be able to take my opponent out on that first turn that I get all my Blackluster Soldiers out, but on the next turn I can have a little bit of a recovery by banishing the light and dark monster from the grave to special summon out like the OG Blackluster or an Envoy or something. I mean, I wouldn't use Envoy to summon this, but you can use it to summon Super Soldier. So then I play 3 copies of Super Soldier Synthesis. This is the best ritual spell, and this is what made this deck really work. This deck was a little hard to function before Super Soldier Synthesis, but what it does is if this card is used to ritual summon any Blackluster ritual monster, you can send 1 light and 1 dark monster, 1 from your hand and 1 from your deck, whose total levels exactly equal 8, and then you can special summon the ritual monster, which is amazing. I love that about this card. It's amazing. It's awesome. Because you send the 2 Mini Knights, and it just gets you exactly what you need. Then I play 3 copies of Gateway of Chaos. Gateway to Chaos is really nice because when it's activated, you can add a Blackluster Soldier ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and then it gets counters every time a monster is sent from your hand or field to the grave. Then you can place a spell counter on this card. You can remove 3 counters from this to add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand, which is nice, because we're going to want to get to this as quickly as possible. For the next 3 cards, I play 3 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good in this deck because you need to be able to pop off, and that's why I play it at 3. But that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So, for the traps, we're going to play 1 copy of Beginning of Heaven and Earth. You reveal 3 warrior-type monsters in your deck, including at least a Blackluster Soldier or a Gaia the Fierce Night monster, which, again, if you guys want to play this, be my guest. I dropped it because I didn't find that I needed it that much. I don't tribute it that often to get its effect off, and it just feels like a regular old normal summon in my hand the majority of the time. But your opponent randomly picks 1, and if they picked a Blackluster Soldier or a Gaia the Fierce Night monster, add it to your hand, send the rest to the grave. Otherwise, send them all to the grave. But it lets you kind of search. It's a good card, and it baits your opponent out for, like, searching, and it's good for just being able to search. Like, I really like it. And it's good for sending stuff to the grave. If you need, like, the light and dark targets, you can target, like, 1 Blackluster Soldier and 2 of the Mini Knights, and if they don't pick the Blackluster Soldier, all 3 go to the grave, which actually is not bad sometimes. But for the extra deck, guys, let's get into that really quick. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. So, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Outer Entity Azathoth. We play this because if you XYZ summon this on top of Narla, it makes it just where your opponent can activate monster effects for the rest of the turn, so it can kind of protect you. You just play this to overlay up into the Azathoth. Number 38, because you can overlay with 2 of your Blackluster Soldier monsters into this, and if you don't get them in the first turn, you overlay into this, you can negate the first spell. So you need a little bit of negation going into your opponent's turn, so that's why we have this. 1 copy of Utopia the Lightning, Utopia Prime, and then 39 Utopia. We play this so we can have a big beater in the deck. Yes, Blackluster Soldier can get up to 45 with Envoy of Chaos, but I wanted something a little bit bigger, so I played this. Tornado Dragon, just to kind of hit back row. Baguska, just to kind of, you know, plan B if I need it. And you can make a lot of these with, like, except for Hope Harboring Dragon, Titanic Galaxy, you can make all of these with one of those dragons, the white or black dragons, and then normal summoning like Manju or a Mini Knight. So it's really easy to make. So for the Link monsters, I play 1 copy of Borreload. I don't make this that often, or Boral Sword. I don't make them that often, but they're there if I need them. Trisbania, because I'm not that worried about hitting my own back row, because I don't really play anything that I'm going to set. So that's why I'm not that worried about it. The only thing that I'm really, like, concerned about is my field spell. And once I get my initial search off of it, it's kind of paid for itself. So, I mean, it's kind of a moot point. Unicorn to bounce stuff, Phoenix to pop spells and traps, Cerberus to pop monsters, and then Isolde because it's a warrior deck. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I really enjoyed taking this one. Blackluster Soldiers are super fun, and I'm glad I got to do this one. A lot of people, like, I mean, a lot of people have requested this one. Like, it's been, like, blowing up all the comments on the 25 Days of Christmas. Take Blackluster Soldiers, take them! And so I was like, okay, I'll give my fans what they want. So I did. So, anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below, tell me what you think of this deck profile, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.